Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena, it is the duty of this channel to keep an eye on things that will potentially get banned. And the thing that we're going to hone in on today is this one. It's kind of tiny print, but bear with me. Izzet Epiphany at 16% of the meta of some of the early tournaments in the Star City Games Tour on MTG Melee, which is where the spiky players go to spike out. It has a 75% win rate in competitive matches, which is freaking insane. And I love that the one above it is Azorius control, but only one player registered it. That player has an 83% win rate. Azorius control confirmed better. Stats never lie. But yeah, the combination, playing this without Goldspan Dragon and playing it with the combination of Galvanic Iteration and Izzet Epiphany is proving to be too much for competitive Magic right now, and it has Allrun's Epiphany at the top of everybody's ban watch list. So we have to talk about it, we have to play it, we have to try to bring a best of one version, because for the most part, best of one isn't really on this train. If we go and check out the lovely statistics on untapped.gg. I know, I should have had it ready, set to go, professional content creator. But if we go to standard best of one, you see that Izzet Dragons is down here at number 6, and an archetype called Izzet Epiphany that doesn't play the dragons is not even, like, it's not even on the radar in best of one. And we're gonna see if that's warranted or not, because when something is threatening to get banned in best of 3, you would think a best of 1 version has to be out there. And I put up a video with Izzet Epiphany. I cut the dragon. It was the least watched video I've released since the set came out, and I took that as, I guess people just really hate Allrun's Epiphany and don't want to see it, don't want to talk about it, they want to stick their head in the sand. But you can't stick your head in the sand for long. When this deck starts putting up the numbers it's putting up, it's going to start ticking up in best of one, and you're going to have to know how it works, know how to beat it, know what it's trying to do. Or some of you who have the cards, or might even enjoy this strategy, might want to play it yourself. So we have to cover it. It's the purpose of the channel to keep an eye on the meta for standard ladder, and that is what we're going to do. So cutting the dragons is a big part of what makes the deck actually good. There's no creatures, there's nothing to remove, so the opponent's removal spells don't really help you win the game. And then on the other side, eventually we cast Galvanic Iteration, which says that our next instant or sorcery gets copied, you can choose new targets, and then we cast Epiphany, and then we have 2 turns. During those 2 turns, we usually flash back a Memory Deluge or cast Expressive Iteration to find another Epiphany, or to find another, to flash back the Galvanic Iteration with that Epiphany. Often spending a whole turn on a Memory Deluge gets you exactly what you need, and that's all you really need. Battle of Frost and Fire, this is competing with Devil's Play, Burn the House Down. That's the thing that it was, Burn the House Down. And that's what I used in my version of the deck, but Battle of Frost and Fire with its Scry 3 and its ability to draw 2 when you cast your Epiphany actually curves really well, and the ability to divide it by 0 matters a lot. Whether or not the opponent has 5 toughness creatures matters a lot, but for the most part, there aren't many of those. Can you think of a 5 toughness creature in standard competitive right now that sees a lot of play, that you play against all the time? You probably can't. The biggest risk is that an Luminarch Aspirant or a Ranger class buffs up a troll, you know, that kind of thing. So as long as you prevent that, you'll probably hit everything with Battle of Frost and Fire. Cathartic Pyre gets played in this deck because we don't have a dragon for the Dragon's Fire. Literally no Goldspan Dragons, which again is bizarre. It's not like it's bad in the deck, it just nerfs removal and gives you a sweeper effect instead, so you're not playing a tempo game anymore. You're playing a control into combo game. You're playing Splinter Twin for you boomers. Eventually you get your combo together after controlling the first 5 or 6 turns of the game, and then you win. We also have Fading Hope because tempo is more important than actual card advantage. Same can be said for Divide by 0. Instead of Saw It Coming, tempo is more important than card advantage, because eventually we just win. Just get the pieces and you win. A few pieces in the counterspell arsenal, 1 Disdainful Stroke, 1 Negate, 1 Tested Talents to try to fight the mirrors. We also have some Jwari Disruptions, and I've got 4 Spikefield Hazards as my lands, and we'll see how that holds up. But for best of 1, instead of 4 Jwaris, I'd like 4 Hazards to be able to kill those nasty little mono-white creatures. Also 2 Cinderclasms to go with our Battle of Frost and Fire to keep from losing to the fast decks. Ugh! My voice has been killing me lately these days, so if you hear some different vocal qualities in a few videos, maybe I'm trying to take it easy on my voice. All right, guys, I know a lot of you hate on Epiphany. If you want to dislike the video, much like Rogues before it, I understand, and that's okay. That does not bother me. But what would bother me is if there are decks out there thriving and destroying our precious ladder, and we are not covering them, we are not learning about them, we are not trying to adapt them, we are not trying to make great versions of them. That would bother me. So, without further ado, let's dive in. Let the Izzet turns nonsense begin. Let's see. Yesterday's ladder, no aggro. There was just none. Anywhere. We'll see what today's ladder is. We actually have our combo, but we only have 2 land, which I think is a mulligan. I don't think I can afford to keep a hand like this, especially when all the lands are tapped. It's too awkward. And there's a whole bunch of land. We can put the iteration away, or we could put the negate away. Negate's pretty narrow, especially on the draw. It might hit absolutely nothing, but it does more on turn 2 than iteration ever will. Black. Well, I'm glad we put away the iteration, because the shuffler is fine. We only run 2 copies, by God. Ghoulish Procession. So, black sacrifice value deck. We might get to demonstrate why this Izzet turns deck is absolutely busted. It really doesn't care about this. It really doesn't. Alright, blue and black. We'll see what the zombies can do. They might have some cards like Flip the Switch to counter a spell and create an unearthed zombie token. They're going to go for a Blade Stitch Scab. Okay, let's try interacting with it on the stack. The opponent only has 1 blue, and there was no stick there. They have 4 cards in hand. Let's grab Environmental Sciences and make sure that our lands happen. A meat hook on 0, so now when we kill their things, we lose a life. I think here we're just iteration or memory deluge gaming. We could play around a counterspell like Flip the Switch by doing it now. And let's grab another iteration. Cinderclasms aren't good against a 2/3, so let's grab Divide by 0. I still have my sound effects down from playing the Lear deck. That's why I could tell something was off. Something was off. The music was so much louder than the sound effects. Now I know why. Not a lot to worry about here, really. Just divide this by 0 and continue with our life, or ignore it completely and foretell the Epiphany. But I think that can wait. We'll plan on a little divide by 0 action. Maybe on their end step or something. Oh, that's... Oh. Well, it's going to trigger this and make a 2/2. That's nice for them a little bit, but I'm just going to bounce his village rights. And they'll just have to play it and sacrifice their 2/2. I have the combo. There's like nothing I really need, to be honest. I'll just take another land. Because I guess the life, right, could keep us alive. They're like, yeah, I sacrificed my 2/2. Alright, fine. You get your 2 cards. Could have also negated it. I don't think it matters too much. I think their deck's in a lot of trouble. Oh, the Hive. Oh, they're gonna take my Memory Deluge. Okay. And that feels like that just feels good on their side of the table, so I don't blame them. Shut down the other side of that card. Let's do this. So I could have iterationed there, but I don't need anything. That's why I'm holding it. All I need to do is hit land, keep my life total high. Keeping 2 mana up lets me negate Orjwari. Champion of the Perished. That is a good Spikefield Hazard target. Remember, this exiles too, so I think they don't get any payoff from Ghoulish Procession. They can power up the Hive, but they can't attack. They don't have enough mana to hit with it. So that might be their whole turn. Their poor champ. If they can somehow generate an instant speed zombie, it might blow out the hazard, sorta. Should we risk it for the biscuit? Let's see if they can do something clever here to make a zombie. That is that's a play you can make. Not sure what's going on there. All right, let's go ahead and go find our mountain. Next turn is combo time. Play this. We could iteration now, but let's just wait till we're in our... It gives us something to do during our combo turns. So here's Jadar. So the opponent could have a counterspell up. That is a totally doable thing. But they can only counter one of the turns. Pew pew. Pew pew. And nothing was countered on this dark, dark day. So I has 2 turns now. I'm like, yes, I get to draw 2 cards. Yes. All right, so first new turn. Iteration. Let's flash it back, and then let's cast Expressive Iteration. And get 2 of these. And we can find here Memory Deluge for the hand. We can exile another iteration, or we can use the Cathartic Pyre on their creature. Go deeper. Find more turns. Should be pretty easy to find more turns, to be honest. All right, now we'll put this in the hand. We'll put this in the deck, and we'll exile this to hit our land. But we'll also cast this. Might hit a land we like more. We don't. This can go to hand, and this can go to deck, and this can go to exile. This can come to the battlefield. We'll Spikefield Hazard the Jadar so that next turn the 7/7 can attack if we want it to. We haven't found another turn quite yet, though. I thought we'd find an Epiphany in our top, like X many, but we haven't. We'll have to work for it. All right, land off the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 10, so we can't Deluge an Epiphany yet. So let's try the iteration. Another Deluge, another 2 hazards. Our opponent's going to get another turn. I'm disappointed in myself. Pathetic. Pathetic gamer. All right. Let's go ahead and play this tapped. We'll attack with the Birdos. Could throw in the Hall, but I'm just going to hold up interaction and card draw. So you don't even have to end the game in those 2 turns. Obviously, if you take 2 extra turns and make a whole bunch of birds, you just get pretty far ahead. Meat Hook for 1. Let's negate that. They power up the hive again. All right, we just need 1 damage. If I had kept that Spike Field Hazard in hand, if I had done the math. But the opponent's going to scoop up anyway. All right, Fading Hope is going to have to hold the fort while we deluge and set up. Let's go. Good old Snarl life. Yeah, our mana's so good. So, mono white? Let's see. Clarion Spirit. 2 Fading Hopes. Interesting. Let's let them put 1 spell on the stack, then Fading Hope their spirit. Okay. Another Epiphany. Do we keep that? Next turn is dedicated to Memory Deluge. When am I going to... Actually, I think we do keep it. Because then we just have to get to 7 lands, right? 6 lands we play this, 7 lands we play this. We don't need iteration. This is fun. White deck with no 1-mana creatures is a different kind of white deck, huh? But now they're going to have a board, so we really want to find Battle of Frost and Fire and land. If we saw those in our top 4, then we have indeed been blessed by the gods. Interesting. They're worried about counter magic, so they're not playing the Aspirant here. And they're also playing around Jwari Disruption. So maybe they've seen the deck around. Wow. I didn't expect that to actually happen, you guys. Oh my gosh, and Divide by 0 to replay the battle? Oh, holy GG's, Batman. Yes, the famed Luminarch Aspirant. Are they actually gonna just try to boost it bigger than a battle? They are. So, I was going, let's do our scry. That's a lot of land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 is what we need. We do not need 8 and 9, so we'll just put these away. All right, I was going to bounce the battle and play it again, but their plan is to make this bigger than the battle can handle, so we're just gonna do this here. Go get you. What a beautiful setup, too. Complete with Cinderclasm. I think we're okay. I think this game's under control, guys. White deck without 1-drops. I never thought I'd see the day. Or maybe they're counting Guiding Voice as a 1-drop. It's not really a 1-drop, right? Okay, they're trying to make 1 beefy Aspirant. All right, there's 1. Fire 2. There's the iteration. So now we got to find 1 more Epiphany, of course, for that to team up. But I think we're in perfectly acceptable shape. Probably just hang back, block, cast Memory Deluge. Maybe we Galvanic Iteration it. We set up and we combo them again. We could also divide this by 0 and hit our land drop for turn. I don't think that's really necessary, though. I'm sure we'll actually pick up a land off the Deluge, so let's just do this now. Oh, wait, this one... Yeah, that one... Okay, do not copy Memory Deluge. I can't believe I keep forgetting this, but do not copy Memory Deluge with Galvanic Iteration. I've actually made this mistake multiple times now. When you do it, you didn't spend any mana to cast the Memory Deluge, which means you don't look at any cards or select any cards with it. And I know that. I'm aware. I just keep forgetting. And what can I say? What can I say? There's no good excuse for me anymore. I'm kind of hoping here. Let's see what the opponent does. Are they going to make one massive Luminarch Gas Pirate? No. Okay. This is going to be fun. So one there. Two there. Might as well throw one more here. They're all going to die. Cool. Play badly, still win. Deck is idiot proof. Our opponent wants to know if we would like the carrot or the stick. I choose the machine gun. Not a lot of land. The Cinderclasm's good, but I think we're just not going to hit enough land drops to win this game. Okay. Better, closer, warmer. And as usual, Galvanic Iteration, a 2 of in the deck, dominating our opening hand. Shuffler's fine, guys. Don't try to say it isn't. The Shuffler defenders will show up to guard their lady love. Uh-oh, blue-white control. I like my blue-white control matchup with this deck. I'm not gonna lie. So this could be a beating. See what they've got for Expressive Iteration. A test of talents. All right, fun. Well, that gets one test of talents out of the way. If they're playing the version with 2, we still have another one to worry about. But getting their test of talents out of the way so that we can still Memory Deluge and Alrund's Epiphany combo. I'm fine with that. This is not what you want to test of talents. So I hope they have the other one or more of them, or they're going to look pretty foolish in the long game. So they have another Consider. Yep. I'm going to fire it off. Yeah, they're off to a great start. They're tapped out, though. And they can't really punish me for tapping out, so we're going to do this now. And grab these land, right? Yes. Oh, they're missing land. Well, we're not. We've got many of them. Now we can wait here. We can chill. But I'm going to just try to push them with this battle. Okay, they've got no counter spells. They've got no counterspells. This is a Doomscar. If they're missing lands, Jawari is really good, and Divide is really good. And we might be able to just beat them to death with the Hall of the Storm Giants. No, I'm not going to Galvanic Iteration Memory Deluge. No, I will not. You cease those comments. You cease those YouTube comments right now. Could flash this back and get the draw 2 trigger. That's probably better than getting him for 7. Where's my draw 2 trigger? Flashback doesn't do that? I'm learning all kinds of things about how Magic the Gathering works today. Looking like a total buffoon for your benefit. I hope you appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying it. Yeah, that was really bad. But let's serve him up some pain, shall we? If they play a Leer, we're just gonna hit it with a Divide by 0 or something like that. So I really want an untapped land so I can use Jwari Disruption to protect the Hall. Alright, they slam Leer. Ooh, okay. I think we make sure that this resolves, but my god, we only need one more mana to do the combo, so we just bounce this. What are they gonna do? They want to cast those Considers, I guess. Yep, make them pay more for this. Go get the manas. We have double Jwari Disruption that we have open here. And next turn... Maybe I should have foretold this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I still need an untapped land. Yeah, I should have foretold this, I guess. I did want to double Jwari it, but now I see that doesn't really matter. Okay, still no counter spells from the opponent. Unless it's a Disdainful Stroke. Actually, if they have this down, they can't counter either of these, right? It's a trap. It's totally a trap. We've got this. Okay. I see the way. I see it. I can see the Matrix, everybody. I've played this game as badly as the last one, and I think we're going to get it anyway, because our opponent really whiffed on lands and counter spells. He had a pretty decisively poor sequence. All right. Iteration. Look out, CGB. They're going to do the Test of Talents trick. Wow. That's all their mana? Okay. Can't be countered, though. That's right. Can't be countered. No, that's fine. We just cast it again. Yeah. Okay. We don't need to Jwari anything. Good luck out there, opponent. I love your deck. You know I do. This is my baby. But you gotta hit lands and you gotta have counter spells. Our poor opponent wasn't able to do it. So the stick is. Okay. Possibly a more difficult game here. Our first piece of interaction is a limited one. If the opponent can go wide or go tall, we might not be able to stop them, and we're on the draw. So far, it's been a rampage. I'm winning, and I don't deserve it. I've been playing decisively poor. All right, looks like our opponent might be playing Golgari, midrange, Storm the Festival, maybe stuff like that. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to Pyre this. I don't know if this card matters. Team Pennant. Well, okay. Skeletal Swarming. Definitely. Definitely Skeletal Swarming. No equip, so they have something else they want to play. And they don't. Deadly Dispute? Deadly Dispute. So let's not cast these. I think we also hold this too. I think we just stay reactive. Okay, no Deadly Dispute because it would have held priority. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm confused. Our opponent has a Team Pennant, and now they're going for a Toski, which we can bounce that. And we can Pyre this. So, all right. I still think we hold on to the Pyre. We might have a better use for it. Let's bounce here. You know, on second thought, though, next turn they're going to play this again. We don't want them to draw a card when they do. We want a Deluge next turn, so... All right, I'll do it. I gave them one more life than I should have. Should have just killed this with this on the stack if I was going to think that through. Hold the island because we're a Snarl deck. Might draw a Snarl. Want to be able to play it untapped. Say hello to Toski. Does Toski get the team pennant? It's an equip 3. Really want a token here. Okay, Finn the Fangbearer. All right. Not gonna lie, kind of rooting for my opponent now. I would love for whatever this is to give the quote-unquote winningest best deck that with a card that needs to be banned a beatdown. It would make me smile a little bit. So what are we doing with this turn? I think we're dividing the Toski, which we want to do in combat, so we don't do it now. So we just say go. Hopefully they'll give us something to Disdainful Stroke. Remember that Toski can't be countered. Who gets the pennant? Who holds the team pennant? It's Toski. Oh, they can't replay it now. Okay, that's good for us. We do have to watch our poison count to Finn, though. We're going to sweep Finn up, though. Finn's going to die. Bounce. Keep the land coming. Ranger class. All right, 2 things for Battle of Frost and Fire to devour. And ta-da! This wolf token has the team pennant. But then they died in the Battle of Frost and Fire. Everybody's favorite squirrel is back on the battlefield. There's Alrund's Epiphany. No Galvanic Iterations yet, and no second Epiphany yet. I think we're going to shuffle this up with the Environmental Sciences anyway. Think it through here. The Divide by 0, though, that continues to hold Toski down. Can I draw it? I can with Iteration. Okay. So we Iteration. We're going to pick... This exiles, but that doesn't get around Indestructible. We're going to pick this land, this to cast, and Mystery Card's going to go on the bottom anyway. We'll have 5 mana. But I think 4 is... Yeah, we just need 4. So we do want the Hall. So, hand... Oh, I guess 5 mana does also cast Sciences. Okay. Hand. Library, exile. Boing. Are you annoyed yet, opponent? Have you had enough annoyance for the day? It's like a train. It just keeps rumbling towards the same place. The place where all the turns belong to us. Toski has recaptured the team pennant. Alright, so if we cast a card with mana value 5 or greater, we get all these sweet draw effects. We could cast the Epiphany, and then we have something to block the Toski. We could also cast the Battle. It won't kill anything, but we'll draw the cards. Epiphany is part of our combo, which is why I'm a little hesitant to just play the Epiphany. But I think it's the right play here. Our opponent might never get another turn if we draw well enough. Oh, look at that. Look at that. We even drew the Fading Hope for the Toski. It's just... I mean, I can't kill it, but I don't have to. It's never going to touch me. Alright, now we'll sit back with Memory Deluge and set up for the future. This ain't right. This is brutal torture. Tainted Adversary. There's an Iteration, there's an Epiphany. Guess we're done here. Let's just dig. We don't need this or this anymore. We just need to make sure the opponent never gets another turn. And they won't. Here come the birds. There goes the opponent. Well, I guess these are kind of early removal spells / land, and we have iteration, so let's go for it. It's a weird looking hand for sure, but it will be hard to kill. Or will it? Things that are too big to get hit by Spikefield Hazard will definitely leave a mark. This is interesting because if I play this on blue, next turn we can iteration and try to hit a land. If I play this tapped, next turn we can iteration, but we can't play the card we hit off of it. So I really want to play this here. All right. So it does let us foretell the Epiphany. Mono green. So, at least according to the information on MTG Melee that I was showing during the intro, mono green is so far the closest thing to a predator for this deck. It's the only thing that's keeping up with it, and we'll have to show off the sweet version of mono green. But Prosperous Innkeeper isn't one of the cards that makes the cut. Let's go for the iteration. We'll see if our opponent can put it to good use here. All right. Well, we whiffed on land, so we're just choosing a card to keep here. And I think it's the Pyre. I guess Fading Hope is a really cheap way to deal with something. We're not going to be able to cast Memory Deluge next turn, though. What are we doing next turn? Maybe we're supposed to keep the iteration and iterate again. It's possible. If we can't do the deluge, I guess we need to do this. I'm just worried that our battle is going to get outclassed. So maybe I'm really supposed to keep Fading Hope to bounce something that's too big to battle. This is actually a really tough decision. I'm not going to apologize for taking a while. That's a really tough one. Okay, there's the troll. We can't let them get a +1/+1 counter on the troll. It looks like they have mana issues, so that's a little bit of a saving grace for us. Another Fading Hope, but we don't have the blue mana to use it. Another Epiphany, which we could foretell. A Cinderclasm that we can cast this turn. So if we wanted to get value out of this, the Cinderclasm is it. And I guess I'll keep the Fading Hope. This has been a really, 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 really awkward game. Yeah, suck it. Prosperous Innkeeper. We got him. We got him. Back. It's back. Do they have Snakeskin Veil? Let's do a priority check. They do not. Tempting there to divide by 0 and then Sciences for another blue. But we'll see what the future holds. I might want to divide by 0, get back the battle. Our opponent's mana screwed. We've had just a weird game. I don't know. This is a funny one. Opponent has a spare green floating. No use for it. Okay. Blue! We found it. We found the blue mana. Do we need all this? Jwari's pretty good against them right now, but I don't know if we actually need to go that long. So what am I going to do? I can't Memory Deluge this turn. I'm going to divide by 0 this turn. What else am I going to do with the mana? I guess we could draw into the island. And then what? We have Fading Hope available. Maybe drawing into Jwari is a lot better. Alright. So, this comes down tapped. We hold this open. And we can draw a Jwari. But we can't cast it. Alright, Troll returns. Can't let them get a counter on it. Okay, they attack for 2. Sure. We're down to 10. It's getting scurry. Let's go ahead and bounce the battle. And let's go to hand, and we'll drop a Deluge because we're going to have no time to cast it. Draw the Jwari, draw the other island. Cast the battle. Now, they're going to have a lot of mana from these trolls. So I guess all I'm trying to Jwari is a Vorinclex, but who knows? They might go for a double spelling. They might also sacrifice this land for the 4/4. They do. Ow. Okay, so we can Fading Hope the 4/4. Or we can Jwari their spell. Let's see what they do. It's a heck of an aggressive line. Okay, can't Jwari that. No Snakeskin Veil. So we're about to Epiphany. I guess I don't need this. The Pyre, can we get to it? Yeah, the Epiphany will get to it. Okay. But the Pyre does take care of the pack leader. We don't have any 5 or greaters to cast because we already learned that flashing back the Deluge doesn't do that. I'm gonna do this. Let's do it anyway. I might hit a land here. I might hit a land here, he said. Weird game. Very weird game. No! No, don't do it! You maniac! Okay, that's how you want to play it. I've got a 7/7 I can turn on. Oh, we fighting. Okay. I mean, I could Jwari that. I don't want them to scoop. Don't do it. Don't send him to his death. Okay. It's a good troll, okay? It's a good troll. Don't do it. All right. Think this is under control. See what I did there? Troll. Do we find another one? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Oh, gross. Actually, very, very gross. Why not cast the Nexus of Fate? True villain mode has been activated. Last chance. Will some hero rise to defeat me? Can anyone stop me today? Probably not. His hand is pretty great. Yeah, we'll play this tapped. Oh, they have Snowland. Could mean a lot. Let's say go. Don't want to expressive iteration on turn 2 anyway. This gives our opponent a chance to foretell something or cast their Smoldering Egg. Okay. Well, they're not going to trigger that anytime soon, so I don't have to bounce it right this second. Let's go with the iteration. Land on land on land, huh? Okay. Hand. Exile, or bottom of the deck. Exile. Not doing much. That's okay. You gotta get through the deck somehow. Look at there. Look at there. Opponent gets what... They get it. They know what's up. You can definitely play a version of this deck with Smoldering Egg. But, because they have Smoldering Egg, I have a target for my Fading Hope, which, you know, those are the little things. A card that was useless is now useful. I get to make them discard here? No. We'll keep that. Let's go ahead and do this now. Played around those counter spells. A little foretell action. They do not redeploy the egg, so they might have some kind of a counter spell. Let's see what happens if we go for the iteration here. They might be thinking I'll Test of Talents that, which, like we did in the blue-white matchup, if they Test of Talents this, we're pretty happy. I think we just put you away. Don't think you're very useful here. And this can come in as blue. And we're discarding a card. So we should probably hold up Divide by Zero just to keep them from playing a Goldspan Dragon. It's tempting to foretell this Epiphany and not have to discard, but I don't think we're going to need all these cards. I don't think we're going to need this Spikefield Hazard at all. So we can let it go. I go for Smoldering Egg again, that's fine. It's a good target for Fading Hope. And we can save that. We don't have to do it right this second. We can save that for when they're maybe more optimistic that it will flip. Battle of Frost and Fire is another card we could play against them. Do we foretell an Epiphany here? If we end up in a counter war, they probably still can't flip this unless they play something here on end step. Let's chill. We might actually need all of our mana. All right. Another iteration. They go with the land, but they play the land from hand. And they could have revealed this. That's an oops. That's an oops. Might have Test of Talents for this, but if they do, we Epiphany? Maybe? Because they do have 4 mana. I'm going for it. Resolves. Keep it coming. All right, we have a lot of cards in hand. Let's go for the bounce on the egg here. That's what they want to defend? Okay. 3 Epiphanies. If we can get them to tap out, we've got them. Very tempting to go for a battle here too, but they'll probably counter it. Let's go for the iteration. We might find another solution to this egg. But they're also really incentivized to cast a spell, right? To try to flip this. And if they do, we just divide it by 0. So let's not go for it here. Because I think they'll just cast something on their end step or during their main phase. So we can foretell. We don't have anything to do with the other mana. Let's foretell again. And let's try to use divide by 0 when they go for that. And if we end up tapped out on their turn, we untap, take all the turns, and their egg didn't matter. If they don't do that, we go for the battle with Divide by Zero next turn and really just try to tax them. Okay, they're going for Gold Span. They could have the perfect group of cards here. It's totally possible, but they let that Divide resolve, so they probably don't. What do they got? 5 in hand? 5 in hand. Yeah, so they're trying to keep up appearances. Like they got something. I don't think there was any stick there, though. I think we go for this Epiphany. If they have Test of Talents, we still have 2 more. But then we might lose. Moment of truth. I was pretty sure there was no stick there. I'm pretty sure this is going to resolve. Now there's a stick. Again. We're just gonna... Who needs Galvanic Iteration? We just have all 4. Deluge, land. Alright, Deluge to hand. Again? Okay. $14, 4, 8. It's lethal. It is lethal. As long as it resolves. Maybe they were holding it to last moment, but we drew a Divide by Zero. How about all 4, baby? The Shuffler has chosen me as its favorite. You are nothing to the great and mighty Shuffler. Yep, they've got to kill one. Doesn't work, does it? Too bad. We just need a little more damage. So, what do we find? A Spike Field Hazard? Five, 6, 7. We need 2 damage. We can upkeep, cast Fading Hope on the egg, get the scry. I mean, all the Epiphanies are gone. Is it possible we don't win this? No way, right? We're gonna find the damage. We're gonna find this damage. Even if I have to use Divide by Zero to get a frickin' Mascot Exhibition, we're gonna find this damage. Not to mention, the opponent still has to deal with the birds. So they've got to sweep the board through 2 Divide by Zeros, and maybe we find another counterspell here. There's an iteration. All right. Hand. Little loose, but I think I just want this in my graveyard for later. And if we cast it there, it doesn't get exiled. And I still have mana open for 2 Divide by Zeros. So they're relying on the Goldspan for more mana. The mana is denied. We has the victory. And we are back for the post-game wrap, and played pretty bad on camera, not gonna lie. Not my finest hour. Did it matter? Nope. Rewarded. I know that's so tilting. That's so tilting. Played horrible. Easy. 6-0. Not really, like, I don't feel like we had a contender. The blue-white deck, which I think is a decent matchup, just didn't hit lands, and you have to. And didn't have counter spells, and you have to. So, is this the best deck? Is this what the ladder should be? Should people be playing this and taking over ladder with it? Probably. Is this going to be the deck that gets Alrund's Epiphany banned? If a deck does, it's going to be this one. However, I've got this weird feeling in my heart that Wizards of the Coast is going to wait only 6 weeks when Crimson Vow releases to see if Crimson Vow changes things. Yeah, there's another set in 6 weeks. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? There really is another set in 6 weeks. And maybe, I usually hate on cards like Necromentia or, is that Necronomica? No, what is it? I've already forgotten this card. I do think it was Necromentia. But yeah, cards that go Unmoored Ego, that type of effect. I hate on that. This format could use it. An Unmoored Ego effect would really force this deck to play a different game, and would actually be a tool that black decks could use without playing blue to combat this. Now, there are a lot of ways to combat this deck. It's just that they all happen to be blue because it's a stack-based deck. Discard isn't great because these get foretold, so your discard spell misses them a good amount of the time. And this comes back from the graveyard, so your discard spell might hit it, but then they just flash it back. So right now, the only angle of attack is to get under this, which aggro is probably at an all-time weak spot right now, or to play blue spells to counter it, which really limits the meta. So the new set could have a Necromentia type card. What would be a good green card to combat this? Just a really good 1-drop, something that can potentially hit for 2 damage, as your green 1-drop would go a long way. Red, how could red combat this? Give them a lightning bolt, give them another vampire that is 1 mana and does 2 damage somehow. Give red the tools it needs to be aggressive. How can white combat this strategy? We've got Redain, Elite Spellbinder. We've got that curse card that makes them pay 2 extra, but those aren't great because Battle of Frost and Fire just kind of laughs at most of that. Spot Removal laughs at most of that. So it needs something a little stickier to hold off Epiphany. So we'll see. If something does get banned from this format, this is the deck that's going to do it. And that means for a lot of you looking to rank up, play the most powerful deck, understand the most powerful deck, maximize win rate, that means you should probably be at least trying out this deck, seeing how it holds up in best of 1, because it's a killer, an absolute killer. And now I don't have to do another video about it anytime soon, and if it does start taking over the queue, we can start making decks that are going to beat it. So look forward to that in the near future. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I'll see you in the next video. You're cool.